Hey, it's Monster, one half of your dynamic hosting duo of the Nerdy Man Room Show. Proudly bringing you another Man Room Short. Enjoy, and as always, please remember, viewer discretion is advised.
Because we were going to talk about not just reboots, but what works and what doesn't, and also along with that, what's the current landscape of properties look like? Because one of the things we talked about last week, it was hard for us to even come up with the movies to throw in there when we were talking about what's coming out this year.
I
There's a
really had
lack
to
of stuff
look
out there.
because there was only a handful of things that I knew were coming. Because there's been a big decline in horror. It's and their popularity is still there. If you look on these streaming services, they're some of the most searched movies, but you're rewatching a lot of the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah, and I think that's what made me think about that when you're talking about how much that one has done and how that, from a horror aspect to me, when you get
The
talking about the
demand's there.
spiritual stuff and the demons and stuff, that's continuing to sell, but your other stuff is declining. Like outside of that, you got a few franchises that hold on and a few tropes that hold on. But when I look at the properties and I'm like, you're seeing the same slashers. You're seeing, Freddy and Jason again and Michael again, right? They're not making new ones really. You're getting the Scream reboot. This is not new stuff. And then you're looking at other universal monsters, right? The Wolfman, vampires. This stuff isn't getting pushed as much anymore as horror. And I was going to
No,
ask
and
you some of
sadly,
this.
the Wolfman remake come out a few years back. It's been more than a few years at this point. That's a really great movie. It's an underappreciated movie. It was probably part of a new shared universe. And the Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins, they told a great story. The effects were wonderful. You had Rick Baker doing the Wolfman. Anytime you have Rick Baker doing a Wolfman, you've got gold. And it done well at the box office, but not well enough for them to want to continue.
Yeah, but so tell me this though: do you think we're just running out of those tropes there? Now, I'm leaving the stuff out that continues to sell, like The Conjuring and the demon worship, the Exorcist, all the stuff that's demonized, right? That sells as creepy. Do you think we've run out of fresh takes and ideas on this other stuff? Are we romanticizing too much of the stuff? Let's take vampires for instance. You got the tween sparkly vampires on TV shows for Vampire Diaries. You got the Twilight movies. Are we making these things where they are no longer scary to us? Have we romanticized it to a point?
That's probably a good bit of it at least for the werewolf and the vampire. These are teen properties, Vampire Diaries, and they've got a couple different spinoffs or whatever. And then you have the True Blood bullshit that was on HBO where they made the vampire the heartthrob of the show. And
you're taking the horror out of it, though. These are no longer scary things anymore. We're like, okay.
Once they become sympathetic characters and you get behind them, he's got to bite a throat out at the end of the night to survive, but it's only to survive. Come on.
With the generation that's out there now, and I'm not picking, but they would say, well, Michael and Jason, they weren't wrong. We should just give them more therapy.
Yeah, they were just bullied as poor children, so they have no choice to be psychotic assholes today and murder the hell out of
I was
people.
like, you're taking that away. Same thing with zombies, even. Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, all those used to scare the crap out of me when I was younger because these dead people rose up and they're coming, and those were scary, especially in black and white. But
dude, I'll be honest.
You watch
Dawn of the Dead, the remake. And we'll touch this when we go to doing the reboot section of this. That Dawn of the Dead remake, Zack Snyder, he done great. But then again, as great as he done in that movie actually made me fear zombies. The last few seasons of The Walking Dead, you have made them just feel like
they're just
anybody could go. Yeah, because literally they're the most least feared character in the whole damn show. Yeah, if they kill you, or bite you, they got the most consequences. But like in the first season or two, one Walker showed up, all hell broke loose. Somebody had to die. You lost a loved one. Now 30 of them walk up and they're just going.
Yeah, but 10 years later, it's gotten to the point where we just expect them to show up. It's like it's like termite season. We expect the termites to show up and try to eat the house. We'll just put a little bait out for them, try to kill them, whatever.
Yeah, just spray a little roach spray around the house, make sure.
They are no longer a feared thing. They're part of the landscape. We know they're coming, but we spent 10 years with them. We know how to deal with it.
With that Army of the Dead movie, he made that into a comedy for the most part, like a little heist comedy deal with zombies in the background that wind up breeding and having a child.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take the mythology, and if you don't care enough and honor, and that's what I'm going to really delve into when we get into the reboot station is.
So let's jump in.
That's what makes or breaks them.
That was my big question on the stuff now is, with the lack of horror and stuff, what's declining? And I think a lot of it is just the romanticizing of it and, making it more sympathetic and it's there and we're used to it. But